Hey guys, it's Jose again. I'm making a Spanish style lasagna today. It's also called Pasteloñ. So pretty much think of a lasagna without any pasta. Just ground beef and cheese and all that good stuff. So I'm starting off with my ingredients. I gotten some feedback. You guys wanted to know the stuff that I used. So I'm using a mozzarella cheese, a sharp cheddar cheese, a ricotta cheese. These are the Goya plátano maduro. They're from a box, yes, because who the hell has time to boil them and put them together? Not I. So I got 3 boxes of those. I got all this stuff at Walmart for like 10 bucks, except my seasonings. And I'm going to make the ground beef right now. So right here, I started browning it really quickly while it cooks. I'm gonna put a tablespoon of my grandmother's sofrito in there. I'm gonna put a tablespoon of, my good old faithful garlic that's pre-minced in there. I'm gonna put all of these nice, I cut about a half an onion, a quarter red pepper, and I don't know, like about a handful of cilantro. That's going in there. Now that that's in there, I'm also going to put a tablespoon of, not even a tablespoon, about a quarter of it of Dijon mustard. That's from Trader Joe's. I'm going to do some adobo. And this is all to seasoning, really, to taste. A little bit of black pepper. A little bit of thyme, a couple of Jamaican allspice, just a few little things, and I'm also going to put a few capers. Just a few. These are really flavorful. And I'm going to stir that. And I'm going to let it cook. You can already smell the nice smell. This is also about 2 pounds of ground beef. I got it in a family pack from Key Foods for cheap. But you gotta cook it. When you buy ground beef cheap, you gotta cook that shit quick because that shit is fishy. You just never know, And you don't want to get E. coli poisoning fucking with cheap ground beef. Oh, I'm also going to put a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, or however you pronounce that, to taste. A little like that. With ground beef, I like to go extra with the seasoning because for some reason, even when I think I over season, I under season. So I go a little crazy with it because the last thing I need is for this to taste bland. So I'm probably also going to put a packet of sazon. Now this is, I'm usually all pro Goya, but I find that these sazon from Noir, I like them more. I don't know, something about them. So I'm going to put a packet in there. It's also going to give it some color. And I'm going to move that around again. Like this. Now I ran out of Goya tomato sauce. Can you believe it? So I'm gonna sub just a little bit of ketchup. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just got more shit in it, you know? But it's gonna add a nice flavor. This may freak you out, but I've done this before and I'm fine with it because it's actually pretty good. And it's gonna give it, you know, somewhat of a color as well. And a taste. This is also very messy and it gives me anxiety because I hate my stove to get dirty. But you gotta stir it and you gotta move it around to make sure that all these pieces are broken out because you don't want no uncooked ground beef in your nice pasteloñ. Alright, I'm gonna cover this and I'm gonna let it cook for like another 10 minutes. Sorry. Okay, so now while your meat finishes cooking, you're gonna take your platanos out of the box and you're gonna cut them. Slice them straight down the middle like this, long ways. And you're gonna place them in your, where you're gonna bake it. So I'm baking it like in a ceramic stoneware thing with a lid. Don't cut yourself because that'll be tragic. And you're putting them like this. This is the part where this is pretty much, like I said, you're replacing the pasta, the lasagna pasta, with platanos. So it calls for like a nice, sweeter, more Spanish lasagna. So as you lay these, just make sure that they're uniform, because that's what you need. Also, like press them down a little bit, because if they're like a little thick, it's gonna widen them, you know? I'll do one more. Just to make sure that you cover as much gap as you can. And remember, my grandmother would have boiled these and cooked them the way you would cook them. But I'm not my grandmother. I don't have time for that. I told you I have retail. I have a job in retail, and I like to cook smarter, not harder. So now that these are there, I'm going to start putting the meat in. And in a separate bowl here, I have 3 eggs, a little dab of milk, garlic salt, and hot sauce. And I'm going to whisk that together. And I'm going to use this to bond the meat to the platanos. Watch out, because that salmonella is no joke. So now I'm getting ready to put the meat into the center of the pasteloñ. So I'm just going to lay the meat like this. Oh shit, I forgot something. Sorry. I'm going to put a little bit of cheese down first. It's okay. I'm going to start with a little bit of cheddar. Nothing too crazy. And a little bit of mozzarella. Oh shit. Okay. That was way too much. I don't want to put that back in there because I don't want to contain it. So I'll just lay her right there. As you can see, I like to get a lot of my stuff at Walmart because I honestly like Walmart. When I was raised going to Walmart. We didn't know shit about Target. So I'm comfortable at Walmart. So a lot of my food items I will get at Walmart because I believe that they have really great deals when it comes to their food. I also like Wegmans. That's my next place I get. Well, Wegmans is my primary place I get food. Then I'll get stuff that's not necessarily fresh from Walmart. I think they do a good job in keeping diversity foods too. So they have like a really nice selection of Goya, and even some Walmarts, if you go to, they'll have even like a Jamaican selection. So that's nice. So I'm pretty much putting all the ground beef in. You can't see any more plátano. And I'm gonna press it down because I remember I'm making my mold of lasagna. This layer, be generous. I'm only gonna sprinkle just a little bit of meat on top of the last round of plátanos. I also want to remind you that I kind of drained a little bit of the juice out of the meat because you don't want it to be too juicy, if you will. And I'm gonna put this a little bit, don't go crazy, over it like that to give it some shape and to keep it solid. And then go for it. A little bit more cheese. Bye, Baba. I also like to put ricotta cheese in it. Most Pasteloñs don't call for this. And my grandmother will be like, that's not in my recipe. But that's okay. That is a-okay. I like ricotta. Another thing that I believe in is when you're cooking, like the late great Auntie Fee used to say, it's your shit and you can put in it what you feel like it. You put whatever the hell you want in your shit. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna take a little bit of ricotta. I like whole milk ricotta. I don't like that part skim shit. You know, you're gonna be fat, be a fat bitch. Don't be a fat bitch with part skim shit. You know? It's not gonna do a difference, really. Let's be real. Just break. I'm not putting too much ricotta into it. I just realized I contaminated my ricotta since I'm not using the whole thing. It is what it is. I'll swirl it. But I'm just pressing a little bit of ricotta into the meat. And then right after this, I'm going to put the last layer of plátanos over this. Distribute it evenly around. I love ricotta cheese. I can just sit here and eat ricotta cheese. I can, but I won't do that because my life has changed. Okay, now that I have the last layer of the plátanos on there, I'm going to sprinkle the rest of this mozzarella cheese on there. And just a little bit of it. Well, yeah, the rest of the one that I took out. A little bit of this sharp cheddar. And the remainder of the meat. Remember, the meat, you don't want to put it on thick, you're just going to sprinkle it. It's just like a light dusting of ground beef. Like a mist. A mist of ground beef. This ground beef came out good too. Okay. So now that all the ground beef is done, I'm gonna put, remember, just a little bit more egg to form it. Drizzle it like this. Since I've decided to do a couple of more of these videos, I've ordered a tripod. So there'll be less movement of the videos. I apologize. But again, bear with me. And now, you're gonna put the final layer of cheese. Which is not gonna be, I mean, don't get too crazy, you know? This is a 2-pound bag. I do wanna save some of this because I'm making a mac and cheese on Saturday, which I will also be doing a video for. So I'm not gonna use all my cheese, although I know that I would need more than that for the mac and cheese. And then I'm gonna do the rest of the mozzarella. This bag is like retarded. Something's wrong with this bag. And you just gotta move that shit around. Cover it up. I like it to be more yellow on top. But you know it is what it is. And that's it. I'm gonna cover that up and I'm about to put it in the oven. Okay guys, this is ready to go in the oven. I've preheated my Breville Smart Oven. This is like a regular oven. It's just like, you know, a big ass toaster that I got, that I love. So I can toast bread and I can also bake like an oven, and it's like, it doesn't make any mess. And I'm gonna put this in there. Hold on one second, because this shit is heavy. So there you go. I'm gonna bake it. It's gonna come out delicious. Let's make sure it's in the middle. And we'll be back. Okay guys, and here we have it. Now that it's baked, this is the final result. I already took a piece out here and I'm enjoying it. It's really, 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 really good. And I love the fact that it did not break on me when I took it out. It's pretty formed. You can see, I told you a lot of the oil and the juices go up, but it pretty much is fine. It's really, really, really good.